A little later than I planned. I think I'm ready now, actually. So, see if my camera's good. Seems fine. Yeah, I forgot I had alerts and I just apparently had them deactivated. They're working now. Thanks for testing that for me. Appreciate it. Is this picking up from my last ones? No. Maybe? Are these real people? Why is this suddenly just like tossing all these in here? Alright, we'll let that go through for a little while until that stops. Alright, what's up? So we are... Oh, there was something else I wanted to do. Chats. Let's show them permanently. Okay, it takes care of YouTube. Nothing. I just got on. You have missed not a thing. Yeah, some of them I think were fake names. I think they were from when I was testing the alerts, and for some reason on this specific screen, it like queued them all up. I don't know. It is what it is. All right. Oh, last night I finished... No, last night. Last night I rewrote pretty much everything that I had done for the leaderboard stuff, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm terrible at scripting when I'm tired, so didn't like any of that smudge on my glasses. I was gonna put my contacts in. I should have anyways. Not hit my mic with my glasses, that would be nice. And then today I got on for a couple hours and finished the leaderboards. I just need to reset some data on them because I was like manually passing in data for testing. So we can do that super quick actually. Oh, also though, I do want to go to Twitch while I'm thinking about this. Or is that a setting from here? Chat settings, let's see. Chat appearance. So leaderboard is done. Like I said, I actually just need to go in here and get rid of this stuff. Don't think I was doing anything else for that. But I do want to go in and check out the game that this is for, since they are offering me some ownership percentage as well, to replace their scripter. Changes. Oh, this was untracked. Cool. All right. And then after that, we're jumping back into the animal AI. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull that up now. Yeah, it's kind of crazy they offered this to me, because like it's a brain rot game. And it's already generating like a fair amount of money. Like it has right now 283 active users at this moment, 1.7 million visits. He sent me the stats, and it's making pretty good cash at the moment. So you just woke up. Good morning, I guess. Does anybody know how? I guess I'm gonna look this up. Bear with me a second. OBS Studio. Or what is this? This is from there. That's not what I'm looking for. Twitch chat is coming from Stream Labs. Let's see. I have like 2 big things. Alright, also I realized like my camera was mirrored before. I hate that. Yes, if you see me coding, I am using VS Code and Roho if I'm coding for Roblox. If you see me coding non-Roblox stuff, obviously I'm not using Roho, it's very specific to that, but let's see, chat box settings. This is what I want. Whoa, I can do both Twitch and YouTube through here? What the hell is wrong with me? Why haven't I been doing that? Stupid. Alright, I'll have to look into that. There's no chat delay. I have always show messages turned on. And yet, Twitch chat will disappear if nobody chats for a while, so. No, I'm still working on the Sword Art Online game. I can't justify spending time on something without being paid for it, though. Currently, just in my current situation. So we're waiting for it to do its thing. It's Project 100 is what it's called. It's an MMO. It's inspired by Sword Art Online, so you'll see a lot of similarities, but obviously actual Sword Art Online was written by not a game designer, by a narrative person. And it's not a good game, but that's why it's inspired by that, and not just trying to make Sword Art Online. I mean, I can make it do that. I don't know. Why is it? You know, it's probably because I didn't set up my YouTube as well. Okay. Anyways, is it on Roblox? Yeah, it's not released yet. It's still in late alpha, I would say. Because we have like they had more of a map completed for like level for the first level, but then they scrapped it because they wanted to redo their visual style. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't know that I have a good playable version because we're in the middle of refactoring. We had a guy come in at the beginning of the year of this year while I was on the hiatus. I had written the entire like foundational systemic background code of the game, and then I had to take a hiatus because my son was born. And in the meantime, the owner hired somebody who seemed like they knew what they were doing to redo the combat, because I had just tossed in some basic combat system that I came up with to just have something, but I was, you know, while I was working on like the back end stuff. And then it ended up being like pretty good look and feel of what we wanted, although there was like a lot of delays and some optimizations that really needed to happen. And once I came back and I looked at like the code, it's created a lot of tech debt. Like I looked it over recently to give him an estimate because he was like, hey, what's it gonna cost for me to actually pay you to focus on the game and spend the time on the game, because I'm part owner of that game as well. And I'm the lead developer on it, so, or lead scripter, I guess Roblox people would say. So it's the project I'm passionate about and definitely want to continue working on, but like I said, right now I can't do it without some sort of financial income coming from it. So we finally got a Patreon page opened up so supporters can actually donate to it, and that's gonna help. And then he's also working on, actually the two owners, Vortex and Queens, they're working on another game that once that launches is going to generate some income that they're going to funnel directly into Project 100. And their big thing was to have me giving them an estimate for my time so that they can pay me to actually do the code directly instead of waiting and doing it in my free time, which I don't really have much of. So they should have waited for me. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of back and forth because again, like the look and feel of the combat is pretty great that he made, but it's I can actually show you some of the code here. Do it in a new window real quick here. Let's see, drive project 100. And I've shown this off before. So you can see this, yeah. So this is a 654 line script. This is doing just about everything that you could imagine. Oh, sorry, no, this isn't even, no, this is the one that I started to clean up. Here's the original one. Which already you can see all the yellow and red up on the side here. 712 lines. You can see, like, again, we had gone in and started to remove some things, so that's kind of how that is. Am I being paid in Robux? No. So I've got like just under 9,000 Robux in my account. So somebody would have to pay me even just, what, like 22,000 Robux for me to even be able to withdraw the first time, right? So I haven't come across the commission that they're like, yeah, I'll just pay you 22,000 Robux for that. I prefer cash anyways. I actually have a business account. Distracted Games is a legitimate business system. It's an LLC, and it's there's taxes and everything I have to keep up on and all that. So any income that actually comes into the business, I can, you know, utilize tax write-offs and stuff too, which is nice. So here's just a hint of what is happening here. So this is a server script, by the way, and it's located inside of starter character scripts. Meaning, of course, that every character that loads into the game is going to get a copy of this script and run its own version of this script. And then, of course, when they respawn, it's going to generate a new copy of the script and run a new version of the script, which can obviously cause some optimization issues. On top of that, it is literally doing everything, like it's handling VFX from a server script, it's handling animations, it's handling all the state handling and the skills and dodging, like all of that. Even though I have, we basically use actor components, and these are shared between NPCs and PCs, and players and NPCs, right? Mobs. So that, you know, if they need to attack and be able to use skills, they can get that. But if an NPC, you know, like a boar, right? Something simple like a boar would attack and be able to use skills like a charging skill. Whereas like a bandit, a more humanoid NPC, could also maybe block or dodge. So you want that too. Saw the string is 16 bytes. Oh yeah, anytime anytime you have a string, you can hover over it and it'll tell you its size, which is nice. Especially if you have a really long string, right? Why would you need to know data size? Because memory is like the main way to optimize. As Twitch grinds chess says there. Yeah, anyway, so he completely ignored, even though I was available for questions, or I wasn't available to code while I was out, but I was available for questions. He just refused to talk to me. I reached out to him when I noticed that he was doing things a little weird. So here's like one of the biggest issues as well. So he has this alive data, which is a folder inside the character and starter character scripts, and he's using it for state tracking by creating folder instances. And then when they stop sprinting, for example, they destroy the folder. So he's creating and destroying instances on the fly, which is crazy. He was using some, I mean, you can see all the unused variables too, even though this one's nil, so that's not taking any memory, but you know, it is setting aside some memory somewhere, even if it's just a minute amount. But, you know, again, like all the things that he is holding some memory for, if we have, you know, the goal in our game is to actually have 100 player count per server. If you have 100 players and they're all running versions of these scripts, that's 100 times the memory that is being taken by it as well. And this is supposed to be, there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to just be handled by the server that would really offload a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that would really be handled by the client, especially effects and stuff, right? That would really offload a lot of that and make optimization a lot better, so. Yeah, so I mean, you can, so creating instances and destroying them is not good. If you either create instances or have them already generated, you know, just in starter character scripts, and you have those object values in there, and then you're just like flipping the data of those object values, that's fine, that's optimized. Although that's honestly kind of an outdated way to do things, because they now have attributes, and attributes are really just a better way to handle it. But of course you want to make sure that either the server is setting that data, and then when some of that data needs to be checked, that the server is checking what state it has, so that you can actually do that without exploitation, right? So that a client can sit there, you know, an exploiter can sit there and change the value, sure, but when they go to like use whatever the value is, like their SP or their their health or something, right? It's not going to matter because the server's going to go, yeah, that doesn't match what I have. I'm going to set that to what I have. We're going to use what I have. So you just want to do that. But saw Dirt Monster going, doing that. He seems to know what he's doing. Yeah, Derp is good. He's one of the good ones. Thankfully, there are some out there. That's the thing, is Dirt strikes me as someone who does know how to professionally code and just kind of refuses to do so in certain cases. Right? Like he's hardcore about like wanting to code in studio instead of breaking it into, you know, even though I think he could actually benefit a lot in the game that he's making right now, with better version control as well. But my opinion on that one. All right, so this is the game, Brainrot RNG. Let's take a look at it and see what this trash is all about. He's not against me using it because he knows that I don't think I need to use it. I just, okay. Already like so many badges awarded to me just for hitting play. It's crazy. You didn't see them because they're behind my camera there, but that's funny. I like that load in screen. That's pretty cool. Jesus. All right. So I've never played an RNG game before. Never. Let's see what we got here. Okay, starter pack, limited time. For $3.99. Sure it is. What does this do, though? You know, like coins, that makes sense. Potion pack, sure. What do potions do? I could probably find that out. The hell is a rune, right? What does this do? I feel like there should be some sort of help check there. I do have Robux, yeah, I could. People standing around. Alright, we have auto rolls, we have 10 times lucky roll, 100 times luck roll, a quick roll, game pass required. Total luck, release, I can't see that part down here. Total luck, here, let me... gotta do all this. There we go. Alright, total luck, release boost. Total luck, 100%. Use code FOLLOW to get cool rewards. Okay. Yeah, their scripter for this game, I guess, is going to the military or something, so they need another full-time scripter to continue with updates and stuff. So, like, is there a point to the map? I think there is. Alright, what do we have here? Item storage. We got an inventory. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the design of it. This is very pixelated and should have been higher res. If I saw that, I would have puked, but you know. Yo, just quick question. What do you do to replicate sound from client to other clients? Currently created a remote event-based module. Yeah, I mean, that's really the easiest way. If it's... So, I mean, you just send an event to the server, and if it's literally something that it just needs to be replicated and not really have any sort of additional processing on the server, just immediately connect it to a fire all client. You could set up a, if you use I think it's Signal you can do, or maybe it's Network. Yeah, there's a network module that you can do like fire all clients except, and you can exclude the player that sent it. And then basically that would just send the event to all the clients except the player to say, hey, play this sound at this location if you're going to do that sort of thing. If it's something that's happening frequently, I would probably use a, what is the, it's like the unimportant remote event, the unreliable remote event, I think it's called. Yeah, they said this game's making like $3,500 to $4,000 a month right now. So it's doing pretty well. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm joining. I have no idea how to play because I have never played a okay, you have item storage and inventory. I've never played an RNG game before, so exotic ethereal crate pack. That's another puke icon, low resolution for some reason. Comes from this. Yeah. And they have these super sharp icons. Even though this one's more sharp than this one, it's I don't know, it's kind of weird. Overall, though, the UI is pretty good. Anybody remember that code that they said to enter? Was it like freedom or something? No one remembers the, I just fall through the world. I just fell through the world. That's hilarious. Alright, so let's, yeah, let's go ahead and see what this does. I assume there's gonna be a shop or something too. There's some signs over here. Okay. Hold on, let me... we'll keep this. I don't know, like... Okay, I have 5 rolls that I can do. Okay, that's what that one was. Seriously, I don't remember what code that was, though. Okay, sure. Does it take time? You say so? Alright, what else can we get? I wish, like, the images were loaded in faster. Okay. So did they, like, do AI images and then design the models off the AI images? 1 in 15. I've already got one of those. Let's go ahead and sell that then. Okay. There more of the images have loaded in now, at least. That's great. What the hell? Alright, Italian brain rot. Alright, so what do I do here? So if I click this and equip it, there's no like close button here. You have to go over and click the inventory button again. I'm not gonna lie, it's like it's animated better than I expected it to be, given its like ridiculousness. Hilarious. Let's take a look at this ridiculous okay, I'm kind of getting a kick out of it. I can see why kids are like dying for this shit for sure. That banana pig just, or what is that? A banana boar? It's a mina banana tar. The banana tar just like knocked me over. I'm like getting stuck on this piece of grass here. Hilarious. All right, let's unequip. So there's got to be. Okay, there's shift lock. What's sprint? There is no sprint. There's no control guide or anything. Like, what is this? Oh, okay, I just touched something and got something. Is it in my inventory now? Okay, like what is this? There's a shovel. Can I pick up this shovel? Yeah, I was itching to see more rolls. Damn, it's the same thing. Oh, this one has more legs? Or is this the exact same one? No, it's the one in 25. It's the same. Is there a store somewhere too? Like, I feel like that's a thing, right? There's a booth over here. Bob, how original. Is this... Okay, I was like, is this just the same shop as over here? No, okay. This is the coin shop, so... Bob's crafting shop crafts special items to give you perks. Lesser luck rune beginners. Okay, so runes give you more luck, essentially. That's what it seems like. 289. Lightly boost fortune, popular among novice gamblers. For sure. Because this Uruz rune, right? 50% roll speed, 250% luck. That was in the starter pack, right? Wait, what happened to the starter pack? It hasn't been the 9 hours or whatever, and it's disappeared from up here. Yeah, I was just gonna rejoin and buy it. This guy's done 18,000 rolls. Yeah, Uruz rune? Sure. Let's go for it. It's only 79 Robux. Sure, that's what they all say, right? Swimming in cash now. Alright, so how do I use this? Okay, this is the potion pack I got, but like, what is it? Okay, it tells you here. 400% luck for 5 minutes. Once gifted by the luck of gods, blah blah blah. 850% luck. 1500% luck. Do these stack? Buy the double luck and use 850% luck. Oh yeah, I do have money to do that, don't I? Where was that guy? Right here. I really wish there was like a sprint. Would be nice. Um, wait, where was the double luck? I guess it's just the there's nothing in the items. Okay. Oh yeah, double server luck. Oh yeah, that's also cheap. Why not? It's OP, you know. Game Pass. I'm not gonna spend any more than that though. I mean, I guess I would make the money back if when I actually do this, but okay. So we have double server luck. There it is. Followed. I am, though. You're just taking your time on it. Alright, so let's see if these stack now. Where can I see my luck? Right here. Okay, I've got this potion boost, 1500%. Total luck. So it didn't override the potion boost, so it looks like it is maxed at what it's at there. I have 6,540% luck right now. Alright, the 2x luck can pass before luck comes out. Double. Alright, let's see. Nice. Okay, so we'll sell that one. It's cheap. It like didn't give me much of anything. Nice.
Questo killer furtivo si infiltra tra i nemici approfittando della notte. Attento, odiatore di caffè.
It's actually playing like a full-on soundbite. That's hilarious. Okay, we got one more.
Sahur. Ada kejadian misterius yang hanya muncul saat sahur. Konon kalau seseorang dipanggil sahur.
Oh, I can only like, okay. All right, now we have this 2x roll here, so let's do that. Hilarious. Oh my god, the animations are so jank. Oh man. With the 10x luck roll. This is the Game Pass. It's just another 2x. It's a permanent one though. Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah, I entered followed, but it told me I have to follow them, which I am following Toby Obi, because he's the one that hired me and whatnot. Okay, cool. Anyways, alright, let's go ahead and do this.
Cocosino Reno. Cocosino. Coconucci Rinucci. Or...
You guys hear these? Turn the volume up a little.
Sahur. Ada kejadian misterius yang hanya muncul saat sahur. Konon kalau seseorang dipanggil sahur 3 kali tapi nggak nyawa.
Hilarious. Oh shit, what just happened?
Garam mararam raraman mararaman dan madu dung 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 tak tuntung perkuntung. Merupakan sosok makhluk halus yang sering bergentayangan pada bulan puasa. Dulunya mereka hanyalah seorang biasa, tapi karena saking cintanya dengan lagu garam dan madu, mereka dikutuk seperti ini. Mitos katanya kalau ada orang yang mendengarkan lagu garam dan madu jam 12 malam, maka akan didatangi makhluk ini.
Alright. Oh man. Hey, I got the banana tar.
Il sacro cabro spaghetti
Pretty
mistico.
good. Alright, I'm gonna do one more and we'll quit at that. Well, now I gotta do another one, right? So what is like... Oh, I see. Okay. What about this one? 39. I'm still at 6,300 right now. Fuck it. Why not? I like their, like, it's so dramatic.
Coccodrillo formaggioso. Fa parte dell'Unione Sovietica e gli piace tagliarsi le unghie dei piedi e mangiare. Carton ghesso. Coccodrillo formaggioso, suo cugino e bombardino crocodillo si divertono a volare insieme.
I'll turn this back down here. Let's equip one of these. So this guy's 1 in 6,000. What happened to my other gun? Yeah, this one here. Let's do a multi-cell of these, like, trash ones. Only keep the good ones, right? And again, like, then it doesn't even show you, like, which menu you have open. I mean, you kind of have to guess if you forget, or just get used to it, I guess. This animation just, just slides across the ground. I think there's supposed to be stuff, like, about the map, too, but I've got this, it's only 3,700. Okay, we need a potion again here. Is that the biggest one? Yeah. Interesting.
Cocosino Rino. Rino, Rino. Cocosino.
Like, what is that? What does this say? The ancient rock. Okay. Just shift lock to move around.
Cocosino Rino.
Here's my 2x luck. Here we go.
Giraffa celeste. Viaggio agreste. Dans la
What
dune
is that?
La giraffa salvatore incantata. Con scarponi e casco
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, did they just have AI generate a bunch of crazy characters and then actually make them real things? It's pretty legit. Like, their modeling is pretty much on par with what the images are. So it's pretty sick. So you can just keep rolling like forever. Capybara and a coconut? Alright, sure. What are these things? Here's a house. Here's a witch. Here are the potions in stock. Okay. 35,000% luck. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Like, the guy was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm kind of surprised this game's doing really well." Like, I was really shocked. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, how could you be surprised? This is like exactly what all of them are looking for, right? What? I climb all the way up here and there's nothing up here. I feel robbed. Do I make games? Yes, I do. Alright, 2x luck. Can we boost it up here? What are we at? 3820? Fuck it, let's buy another 100 times luck roll. Oh, we got another good one. Seriously, I can see why they're making money on this game, because it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, get it. I already got this one. done. We'll keep it, I guess, whatever. Alright, so that's that game. We'll do regular rolls till we get the 2x luck again, and we'll see what happens. It's a worm with a goat head. Is that like a lady cappuccino? I know, these characters are great. Like, it's I would have never have thought to use like AI generated images to create then like crazy mutant models. This is fantastic. It'd be great if like it came with the mosquitoes buzzing around you too. I'm gonna get the shark one. Well, it's part of this list. It could happen. Already got that one. Alright, we'll go a little bit further. It was like, now I'm losing nothing for just doing it, so I might as well. Let's see why that guy's at 18,000 rolls now if he's played this for a while. Okay, I gotta see what this looks like. Trunk moves too. I mean, they even went in and animated things really well. Like, not really well, but they put more effort into it than I expected, that's for sure. Alright, this is our 2x. We got something good apparently. No, we didn't. I heard the sound, I got excited. Ooh, now we got something good. It's so dramatic, I love it. What? Alright, we gotta check that one out. Like, what? What the hell? Oh, when you move, the props move on the plane. Legit. Alright. Should be able to give you the ability to fly with this. Hey, there's new stock over at the witch's shop. You'll see if that 35,000 potions available. It's probably not. There's people just like over here waiting for it to restock. Yeah. I don't even know how much it is. Get one of these, right? Oh, I'm just short on money, so let's roll.
Frigo camelo, buffo fardello, nel centro della città, tra macchine e calore.
Like the combination of things sometimes. Ridiculous. Alright. We'll go to one more 2x luck and we'll be done. Try to get something interesting. Or the shark. No, I want to see the shark. Not even in that list. Okay, it's in this list. No. Alright. No. You want to see the shark? It's called Brain Rot RNG. Okay, so I have notes for myself for this game as well. Oh, I should actually send off the things to them as well. So let's go ahead and save those real quick. I might go back to it later as far as like when I'm on the team, right? But I actually need to go back into here. I don't think I synced my changes. I mean, honestly, with the money that they're making, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to make my own brain rot. But then you have to like keep up on it, and the money's okay for a little while, and then they move on to something else, and then unless you're constantly chasing that, like the money will dry up. Commissions are more consistent. I think my cat is crying somewhere. Music. Right. Let me know if the music's too loud or not. I had messed with my audio a little bit. Otherwise, all right. So, I'm connected. Connected. I'm just saving some things. So I'm gonna want to send him his models back. Am I using... No, hold on. Check it. Am I using any... Yeah, format number I'll have to send to them as well. No, the leaderboard's done. I'm sending this off to them, so... Right, they're probably not going to keep their stuff in a source folder. Guess I could just grab that, this, and these. Alright, let me send this to him. Send the leaderboard models to you because I needed to rework the models a bit, and especially the rename some things to fit. Oh shit, I forgot one extra thing, so we are gonna work on the leaderboards for just a second. Because these have, for the player name, the username, they have this gradient here that is rainbow colored for first place. Yeah, have a good night, Twitch. grinds chess. What's wrong with being old and coding in Roblox? It is a game engine. It's actually a very capable game engine. It's completely got a built-in fan base. It's actually a safer bet to make a Roblox game than it is an indie game for Steam. Same thing with Unreal Engine for Fortnite, using that to make a game, because again, Fortnite's got its audience as well. It's very similar. Roblox is a multi-billion-dollar industry for games, so. Rework these corners on top part, they look terrible and lines are unified in thickness. You talking about on the leaderboards themselves? I didn't make the models, that's... what was it? Okay, so let's do leaderboard. We'll start with weekly rules. We have the... Actually, did I... Yeah, I have the UI grading in there. So when we're setting this... we'll say if rank is 1, then new entry dot username dot UI gradient dot enabled true as well. Hold on. I think my cat opened my door. Nope, didn't open my door. Was trapped in my office. Oh. Alright, let's see. So we are set on that. I need to add these first. Is it Copilot's in my CLI now? What is this? No. Anyways, meds. There we go. All right. Okay, now we should be able to grab these and do that. So let's do this. These 3, format number, leaderboards folder. Saved file. Overwrite this save. Now we're gonna add it here. Alright, ever you'd like to place the actual leaderboard scripts, you can go ahead and do that, and then the format number module needs to go in replicated storage. Ideally within a source folder, but if not there, you need to change the reference in each leaderboard script to match its location. I think that's it. Yep. There. Commission 100% done. So. Still don't know what you're talking about reworking the corners. Alright, so we have notes for myself from a few days ago when I was working on this list. Guess I can also go ahead and open up the map for it. Oh yeah, no, so would I. Those leaderboards are pretty meh. I mean, even, you know, you saw what game it was going in. So it's kind of, eh. How much does it really matter, right? Alright, so we are now back in here. So while it's failing and how to verify. Just for reference. I think we are getting the deer to spawn and then it's going through its different states. Actually, I think it's just failing to go through states. Go through its different actions. It's set to idle right now. Let's turn on debug to see what it needs. Trying to find a plan for wander and it's failing that plan. And then when thirst drops to 50, down here next to my camera, then we should at least get, I guess I could make my camera smaller, huh? Can't do that without doing them all individually. That's stupid. And I'll handle that another time, I guess. Alright, it's about to hit below 50, and now it's trying to get satisfy thirst stuff. Okay. Studio has a weird policy of only working on game after release. The only person allowed to work on game before release is programmer who writes bare minimum for game concept. Yeah, this work. So, my method is that you have a live, stable, literally stable version of the game in a place, and then you would have a sub-place for development of the next update. And then you would get a, anytime you want to develop a new feature, you make a copy, right? You duplicate the next update place. You work on that feature alone in that place. You test it, make sure that it's working. And then similar with like GitHub, how I would then merge into master, I'd merge a feature branch into the master branch. I would do sort of the same thing as I would then merge my place or replace, depending on, you know, anything had been done in the master place. And then when you get enough features put into it that it warrants an actual full-on update, then you have tested and made sure that your update place is stable, and you overwrite the stable place. That becomes your new stable place, and then you just wash, rinse, repeat to do that. So dominance getting advanced. Oh, you have no idea. I'll show you the animal class script here. So it's using GOAP, low car Roblox. Just call you car. How about that? You set the species, its dominance value. Actually, if I do animal type here, actually have like what they are. So you can set a variant model. So we have different colors and variations like that if you want to verify that. Dominance, how dominant the animal is in the food chain. More aggressive animals will attack less dominant animals, so then you have an aggression value as well. You can also determine, you can include in a string different species, in a table, different species that it's non-aggressive towards. Has to have a minimum amount of stamina or energy for, I think I changed this to energy actually. I should change this in here. Stamina's pretty good. Maybe I should change the other one to stamina. I'll figure that out. They have to have a certain minimum amount of stamina for them to even want to be aggressive. If they're territorial, they will attack members of their own species. If we end up doing things like spiders or snakes or anything like that, we can do is stealthy, which they would not normally be detected by other animals, so they wouldn't alert them. They have an awareness radius, a field of view, a scent radius. Scent is basically detecting water and food sources and shelter and things like that. Awareness is more like their vision, per se. Scent is like their... Awareness is their hearing and vision, technically, at least of threats. And then they have, basic stuff there, attack stuff for like bears and whatnot. They have, you can set the hunger decay rate and stuff. You can choose to include a wander radius. Basically how far they wander from their spawn point, or how far they wander from their origin point, wherever they are at the time. And then you can set if they are constrained to the wander zone, which is basically from the spawn point to the maximum distance of their wander radius. And then you have optional stuff for their model reference. This is all the stuff that you could set manually if you want to. A lot of it's privatized though. And then we have the full go on thing here, including all of the functions that are included in it and everything. So start working on a zombie game, consider doing something like this for your zombies instead of just totally random wandering. Yeah, so I'm using goal-oriented action planning specifically. So this is a hunting game, and I wanted the animals to be intelligent and reactive to the world around them. And basically the way GOAP works is you have, all the animals have goals. They just have a list of available goals. You can set them to by context, which I've done. So I can... That's right, I need to fix some of my type stuff because it's giving me errors here. So with context, here it is. So if they're threatened, then the context is evasion, so their goals are much more limited to essentially evade, to escape. If they're alerted, their context is maybe to remain alerted and be more alert and look around, or to investigate like the sound that caused their alerted situation. Otherwise, their needs is there's a needs and there's a default. The default state is to wander and idle until one of their needs, thirst, hunger, or sleep, is reduced under their threshold that they then want to go and seek out a way to resolve those needs. And then the planner basically decides, well, what's the most desirable goal based on costs and everything, and we'll set the goal for the animal. So you see when the animal got thirsty, right, it set its goal to satisfy the thirst. And the way a goal works is a goal has a desired state. In our case, for thirst, it is hydrated, needs to be set to true, and that's a world state. And then 3D modeling is, I wouldn't say it's harder than programming. You can, it depends. I mean, you can do simple models, you can do simple programs. You can do complex, really amazing, difficult models. You can do complex, really amazing, difficult programming. And that's where it falls off, is that a difficult program is always going to be more complex and more difficult to do than a difficult, complex 3D model. How did I learn to script? I have been coding for 20 years. I went to college and got my computer science degree over 20 years ago. Well, I guess 20 years ago. And even before then, I had tinkered around a little bit, but... And then I have been... I've worked for multiple different companies, including some AAA game companies. I have... yeah, that's not uncommon with Roblox. Me having coded longer than people have been alive. I'm used to hearing that. It's fine. I think I need to either increase the size of YouTube text or decrease the size of Twitch text for chat on there. Noticing all these little things here. So. No, I mean, most of my, because I taught computer science at high school for a couple years, and then I also, in addition to doing this, I teach coding. I teach Roblox specifically because that's just what's in demand of me every time somebody wants me to teach them. So I teach on outschool.com, and then I also, if you want a tutoring session from me, like, you can pay me directly for that, and you can reach out through my Discord, which I keep forgetting to set a bot up for, so there you go. So if you go to, I think it's an announcement. Indeed. You go to announcements. So if you're trying to go through outschool.com, which you have to be 18 or under for, I charge more there because they take a cut, but also you can use my code to get a discount off of your first class, and that's useful even if it's not with me, because you can use it on anything. And then I still get paid the same amount, so that doesn't really matter to me. Otherwise, if you want to pay me directly, it's $38 a session, and that's an hour and a half long. I can teach from beginner to advanced, meaning not just take you from beginner to advanced, but I can also teach advanced people. I know a lot more about coding than most even advanced Roblox scripters tend to know. I had a guy that was interesting. He was going around and he was purchasing classes from Roblox teachers that he was already an advanced scripter, and he wanted to know like what they were doing. So yeah, $38 for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's a steal. Low value for me. High value for you. That's the idea anyway, right? Yeah, so what is it? 38. I'm only making $25 an hour doing it. I don't know how much I charge hourly for Roblox commissions typically. $60. Please continue 3D modeling. We need 3D modelers. I enjoy doing all aspects of game development except for animation. It's like the only thing I'm not a fan of. It's not that I can't do it or I'm not good at it. It's just, it's a tedious thing to me, and I find it less interesting, I guess. More of a pain in the ass to me for that. So. So you can get a $2 session if you have at least one other person sign up with you for a group class. Because the group classes, I have to have at least 2 people to make up the same amount of money. The reason your surface lights don't come on as soon as you press test. I mean, are you doing... Let me actually do a part in here, I guess. Like, if it's enabled, it should just work, right? I don't know, I have it settings bright enough for it to actually do a thing, but it takes like 30 seconds. You may have some optimization issues then. See, I mean, it should just be running in the server. Or if you have something that's, you know, see, like the game has to load up in a certain order. So if there's a lot of stuff that's preloading before the lighting comes on, make my screen dark. You talking about like the daytime? Oh, they have a day-night setting on this. Let me find their day-night script and change it real quick. Let's see, minutes in a day, day duration, night. I could probably just go ahead and disable this. Oh man, they've got like... Actually, I think their fog settings and stuff change with their day-night cycle, so that's fine. It just looks like crap right now because this is like daytime setting fog colors and stuff. So what do you... Or I could do it by default as well. This game is called Wild North. It's a hunting game. This is a commission. This is actually the same guy as the Brain Rot game, but whereas that game is kind of out and helped funding them developing this game. They paid me significantly more for this, obviously, because this is going to be a much more significant thing. So yeah, if yours doesn't start right away, I mean, you can even see mine doesn't really start right away, because it does have to, the engine has to run through like physics and all that kind of stuff before it then gets to lighting and will set, you know, any surface lights or point lights or anything like that. So if you have a lot of stuff that's loading up and streaming in that is going to delay it, then that's going to delay it. So I would kind of check to see like where you can optimize on that. Yeah, I mean, ideally the fix is to create a loading screen and have it actually go through and make sure that it is loading things, and that you are checking that things are loaded, and then once they're loaded you can essentially, you know, fade the loading screen out, and then everything just looks like it's loaded up, because that's what a loading screen is for. It just obfuscates the actual loading of the game in the background. All right. Anyway, so what are we doing here? So let me take a look at my note now. So the way that I was thinking, so I can print the list of actions created by calling each constructor function within the animal class module. I suspect that the if statement is looking for the needs resource check. So the if statement looking for the needs resource check is failing to find those specific modules and not calling them, although I prove that each of the resource modules is at least being required. I didn't verify the constructor was being called and therefore the action actually being added to the available actions list is questionable. I don't know if I wrote that correctly, but I was tired. The alternative, if that's not the issue, is to go through and verify the world states are correctly being set. I know for a fact that drink water action is working as intended, but the planner may not be able to complete making a plan for satisfy thirst goals simply due to the precondition satisfying action for at water source is not being found. This is my hypothesis at least. All right, so what does that mean? Not steal a brain rot, it's brain rot RNG. That is who hired me for this. One of the devs. I guess there's 3 devs involved in it. Although I think one of them is the scripter that they're looking to replace with me as well. So I'll get to start making money as well. So this was a problem up here. That's what I was going to look for. So I'm thinking this might not be calling these. Is that what I was saying? The if statement looking for the needs resource check. Yeah. Is failing to find these specific modules. Do I have a log in this? Do not. Yeah, I've thought about making a simple game, but then my brain goes, or. In fact, some of the games that I would do, that I've even started to work on in my previous free time that I don't really have anymore, are things that handle, there's a lot of automation, and procedural generation involved in, because I like coding procedural generation stuff. In fact, I can show you one of them if I can find it. Pull it up. Let me see if I can find it here. It might be a separate place for this experience. So let me see. I don't know. It could be this one, I suppose. There's my voxel destroyer one. That was kind of cool too. So make an incremental game. It's quite easy. Genre, more clear demand for it. Yeah, it's... The thing is, I'm not satisfied making crappy games, I guess, for lack of a better term. Yeah, I mean, that also depends on your definition of doing really well, right? If you're talking about lots of visits and monetary income, right? You know, lots of iPad wielding little kids with their parents' credit cards, then sure. Is it this? It must be this one because this one doesn't have a base plate. This must be it. This is it. Okay. All right, so this is a terrain auto generation deal. So the idea was making a game that players could purchase, or that players would get a plot of land. So think something similar to Stardew Valley. So it would have like this main hub where it, almost like a lobby in a way, where like everybody that's in the server can mingle and do stuff, but it would have, you know, essentially a town and have shops and other things in the world that you could go and do, including like fishing and hunting and that kind of stuff. But then you would get, you would have your own plot of land that would start out a specific size, but everybody's plot of land is procedurally generated. So it's all going to look somewhat different. But I made sure that every plot of land also has a pond of some sort on it, a water feature on it. And then you could purchase like additional land to expand it. And what you could do, that would be basically an instance placed for you in a way, that you could invite friends into, and you could allow, you know, you could give them like edit access so you can, you know, build on the land together or farm the land or fish or do whatever you want to it. Again, kind of Stardew Valley, like essentially like a cozy game, whatever. So like if I run this, you can see it's procedurally generated this area here, and I've got it set currently to just regenerate the water feature every few seconds. And I was working on making it not so it's just like a square blocky chunk of water, but is at least relatively somewhat more natural looking and within a certain size. And this is all using actual terrain as opposed to parts, because it's more interesting to me to do that, and you can, you know, have it actually have a more realistic look if you want to. I don't know why Twitch does that sometimes, but that has edited or censored your message. I see the ISE at the end of it. So whatever you said ain't no sleep. I don't know. Noise. I am not technically using noise. I think for the purposes of the land itself, it's just using, actually I think for all of it, it's essentially using raycasts. Because I mean, you only have to generate it once, right? Per player, essentially. And then you just add on to it at that point from there. But it's still, I mean, it's really early. Like that's, I was just kind of playing around with that because I have a, I don't even know if I have my, yeah, I don't. Because I wrote a, if you're familiar with Unreal Engine's procedural generation volume, where essentially it is a, like a parent part in Roblox that you'd consider, that you could place it over something and then you can set a bunch of settings up to procedurally generate foliage and really anything based on a bunch of different rules and stuff. I developed a procedural generation tool for that, so I can like really quickly get some stuff planted out. In fact, I can see, I don't know where, I don't know, I can see if I can find that. Actually, I think I know where that might be. That's going to be in group experiences. And project 100. Possibly here. I don't know how much I'm gonna get done on this tonight. I have to be up in 4 hours and 40 minutes to take care of my 4.5-month-old son. Yikes. Let's see. Places. I was gonna say, is the asset manager broken? What's going on here? So it's not this one, unless they just deleted it. Trying not to show this stuff because this is Project 100, like behind the scenes stuff, so. It's a boring screen right now. Let's see. Busted now. Alright. Things so slow. Is it because that map is so unoptimized? Hello, CPU usage. It's because that map is so unoptimized. I wish they would fix that. Alright, well that one's taking a while to load up, so, or even close at this point. So we'll move on. We'll take a look at this. See what this does for me here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Or is it though? Because it's... No, I know what I was going to print. It's just going to print the table when it's all said and done, so we'll... try that. And then I can see what it's finding and what it's not. Stop this, pull this up so I can see a little bit better. Determine search point water, determine search point food, and search point shelter. So this is finding the correct ones. Scan location for water, scan location for food. Well, we moved to water source, moved to water source. We have that twice, we have that 3 times. drink water, find wander point, move to wander point, and idle. So those three are still intact. So I wonder why it's setting those. What's up, Derp? But more interesting to me is why I have 3 move to water source here. That commission's done, yeah. I'm back to working on the commission I was working on before that, which is a GeoAP animal AI system. Something you can't comprehend. So, goal-oriented action planning, the way it works is, for example, our animal will have a... The trolls last night. They actually joined earlier, and in this stream, and I mean, they were fun. They were definitely trying to rage bait a little bit though. Alright, so, how long where I live? Are you asking what time it is? So, I have a list of goals. In fact, if I do the goal registry, you see currently they have a wander goal and a satisfy thirst goal. I haven't added the rest yet because I've been making sure the satisfy thirst goal works. So when they're they wander around, they have a list of actions by default, and those list of actions are find wander point action, move to wander point action, and idle action. And what happens is if I pull up the wander goal, right? Each goal has a desired state. And the desired state of this is has idled recently, needs to be true. Right, so if has idled recently is false, this goal is unsatisfied, right? It has not been satisfied. So the planner will look through and go and see all of the available actions, and it'll look through all of them and find anything that will set has idled recently to true. So that's where it goes into the actions, which I think is just idle action. So idle action has an effect that sets has idled recently to true. So this would be the first thing. If there's multiple of them that satisfy that same thing, then it goes by the cost of it. So you can adjust the cost of things. Make something more costly depending on context or something as well, right? But essentially, this will do that, but it sees this and it goes, but this has a precondition that the world state of the animal is that it is at a wander point. So probably there's GeoAP GOAP is it's been used since Fear, the game Fear. It's a first-person shooter that was like praised for its intelligent NPCs, its intelligent enemy characters, and it's using this, and now it's been used in things like Tomb Raider. It's been used in what am I thinking of? Any of the Shadow of Mordor games, not the Nemesis system, it's not that, but the actual intelligent seeming AI. I'm using it because I need my animals in a hunting game to seem smart and reactive to the world around them, so this does that. So at wander point needs to be true, so then it finds an action that sets that, and we have move to wander point. It will find that, it'll check its effect, and we see, oh, at wander point is true, so this satisfies that, but it has a precondition of has wander point true, which we do find wander point, and you can see the effect of that sets has wander point true. It has a precondition that has wander point is false. In other words, that's the end of the line for that. So now our planner has placed a plan of finding a wander point. It will do that. When it's completed, it sets this to true, which then it moves on to move to wander point. When it completes that, it sets at wander point to true, which then says now I can idle, which sets has idled recently. Has idled recently gets set to true. The wander goal has been satisfied. The world state is unique to each instantiated animal object, yes. They all have a blackboard and a basically a world state. So the world state is what the planner really checks for. The blackboard are your temporary keys that get set and changed around more often than not. The blackboard also contains things that aren't in here that don't directly affect the world state. So like, for example, when it finds a wander point, it will set a blackboard key for the found wander point. Like the actual vector position for it, or the C frame. No, it's just the vector position on that one. For that, and then it will wipe that memory clean when it's no longer needing it. But the problem I'm coming across right now is that since I went through and I rewrote some things with I used to have a specific like find water, which finds the terrain voxel water, so that one's kind of cool because it lets the map designer just put water down anywhere they want rather than having to use parts or anything to say this is where animals can go and drink, and animals just gonna go, I'm thirsty, there's water there, I can just go and drink there. But anyway, so it used to be specific, like find water, move to water, search for water, like all that kind of stuff. And I've changed it to be just to resource. Excuse me. More generic. So like we can do determine a search point is typically your first action that gets taken there. So essentially you have the satisfy thirst goal, which to satisfy thirst you have to drink water. And to drink water you have to be at a water location. So you would have the move to resource action satisfies that. To move to the resource you have to know where the resource is. So to do that, it scans location for the resource, which uses the animal's scent range for that. In order to scan for that, it has to, or no, sorry. It determines a search point, and then anytime it finishes moving to a search point, it will scan. It will also scan right away so that if it finds water and stuff, there's also memory for like when the animal spawns in. If it spawns in next to water, it goes, hey, I remember there's water right here, and then it'll go and wander off and do its own thing. And then when it gets thirsty, it goes, okay, is there any water around me? No? Okay, then I do remember there's water back over there. I'm going to start walking that way and should ideally look for water on its way as well. Otherwise, if it doesn't find any, it will just go to where it remembered water was and drink from there. If it does find water on the way, it updates its memory as that's the last place it found water. However, since I've made these more generic, things have broken for some reason, so I'm trying to figure that out. But also I'm noticing that we actually have moved to water source 3 times for some reason. And move to water source is not a thing. We have, oh, it is. I never changed the name of that one. Just kidding. I was wondering why that was printing out move to water source each time. Okay. Just gonna copy. Okay, it's just using the resource type. But move to, we're gonna actually move to resource source. Yes, because that'll be move to water source, move to food source, or move to shelter source. Correct. All right, so that actually wasn't part of the issue there. Theoretically, then, can make animal trails and store the paths. Yes, in fact, we're doing that. So I need to change the animal's movement up to allow for walking, running, and trotting. This is influenced by the Hunter Call of the Wild, which is a good game, by the way, where depending on their movement, depending on the animal, they might leave tracks more frequently or not, and then when you go and examine the tracks, you should be able to determine were they walking, were they running, all that kind of stuff. So. Did this just like restart my stream or something? Why did like stream elements just say that I'm now live? No, it says I've been streaming for an hour and 48 minutes. Weirdness, okay. Oh no, it does say that it restarted. Fascinating. It took my system a second for it to catch up to be like, yeah, we've now been going for a minute. All right. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like, I'm not even showing any, like, drop frames, skip frames, anything like that, so network seems fine. We'll reset that data. Okay. So, so that fixes that. That's not really a problem anymore. And it is also actually finding the specific things. So why is it not going through them? Instructors being called then. Accurately detecting the preconditions. This is what the planner sees. Right, it sees the cost, it sees the name, it sees the preconditions. It also will get the effect, basically, to see what it satisfies. Okay. So I know how people copy and steal other people's games. Yes, I do know how people do that. I mean, if you can't protect your game from being stolen, what you gotta do, I guess. Alright, so my notes here, I thought I knew this was how I was going to kind of verify, but the alternative, that's not the issue, which is the case here. I need to verify the world states are correctly being set. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. Seeing the other side of things, something called dark decks. There's a number of ways you can protect it, but it's always going to be a constant battle. There's people that are sitting there devoting their entire time every day to exploiting and hacking and just trying to you know, develop tools to do exactly as you said, steal someone else's game. You know, get into things and do that. Because essentially, if you think about it, like, if you can play the game, you have access in some way to the game itself. You can typically reverse engineer stuff, and because a Roblox game is a Roblox game is a Roblox game, it's different from games that are, you know, just developed elsewhere. Even, you know, most Unreal Engine games, for example, are not the same. Most Unity games are not the same, right? They're all gonna be set up relatively different. So it's not as easy to reverse engineer those type of games as it is with Roblox, right? Things like modules can be pulled from the client. Aside from that, UIs set to core GUI make it near impossible to detect. Anyway, so let me go ahead and print state, I guess. How often is this happening? Is this being called? Why I'm looking like this? That's not the right search. I'm starting to get tired, apparently. Anyways, so for the goals, for example, let's use this one here. Okay, I see where those are different. No, the blackboard, that's what I need to print. What am I thinking here? No, I can print state as well, I guess. Let's come down to update tick. Let's do the think loop, since this is only doing once per second, and we'll do self. So get world state. Okay, yeah. Fingers don't want to type anymore. That's cool. Okay, anyways. Run, and every second it's going to print out world state, so we'll let it go for a few seconds. Actually, what I should do, well, I can do this to see why Wander is not working as well, but each of these a table, really. Oh, I know what's happening. That's a different one. There we go. In fact, let me remove that. And debug statement there, because I would have forgotten about it otherwise. Alright, so for wander point, we were saying for the wander goal, it has wandered recently, right? To be false, essentially, to do the wander. So, Has wander search point. Okay, and we're setting. Just got to idle action real quick and see. Has this always been bugging out on me? Because it's not written correctly. Alright, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and drop in, because we need to commit our promise here of has idled recently is true. So, last idle time. Consumes at wander point. Last idle timestamp. Has idled recently. Okay, no, it is there. So why is it not, oh. I'm just blind, aren't I? Right here. Just blind. Many of you were just yelling at your screen. It's right there. Alright, so that's false, which is correct. Which is why we get the wander state, and that's fine. But then it's failing to create a plan. There's no plan to execute. Most desirable goal, update goal and plan. So here we are. So needs new plan is determined if there's no plan. Then we need new plan, which we were printing out here. Needs a new plan for goal, wander goal is what it kept saying there. And then the plan is failing. It could be. Doubt it's from a type error. I should fix these type errors though. Could be a table of actions, but and this is because I started doing this instead. Which means I'm gonna have to go non-strict mode on these and just have this actually return action. And I'm gonna have to do that for pretty much all of them. Which is fine, I suppose. These are already written out, so I don't really necessarily need strict mode on anyways. And besides, I still do explicitly define a lot of things, so it's going to still check the things that I'm explicitly defining. This is just one of the issues with OOP and Lua meta tables. Pain in the ass. Alright, 2 more. One more. So now if I go back to animal, this should ideally be more correct here. How's this one going? What's wrong with this one here? Error type action cannot be converted into action. Really? That's because of this. No? Realized you guys couldn't see anything I was doing. Doing things. Nobody even called it out. That's alright. Let me see something. Guess animal I could do at least, huh? Wish your messaging was better on both sides. Problem is, like, it's because it's fine, as it should be, but it's obviously not fine everywhere. The indexer value is not compatible. Have an indexer value in there? No, we're just using table.insert. Well, we're only 6 minutes away from me wanting to get some sleep, so that sucks. I guess let me update my notes in here at least. Interesting, I didn't put that there. Here. Okay, so with that, let's think about what's happening here. So, back into animal real quick as well and get rid of that print statement there. Because I've now set these back to be the proper action, but it's not lining up somewhere for some reason. Something new is not compatible. Look at this. Type function that accepts no parameters or arguments, returning an action could not be converted into a function that returns an action. Return type is not compatible. Ah. This is where it's not compatible. Can I do this? Does this even work? No. Well, in that case, I will just copy this. here, since this is all optional. Cannot be converted into this, so this is a different action that it's expecting here. A different structure for this. Not animal. Animal type, that's what I'm looking for, not animal class, Jesus. Let's see, so it's the... A lot of these have, like, the action. These are giving me issues. What are you saying action is? Ah, I see. That's where that problem's coming from. Yay, error free. Okay. That's much better. Okay, so, and I had to do that because we were getting the animal type here and we couldn't create a circular dependency. That's fine. That checks out. Let me at least update these. And then we're going to update these. What have we changed in here so far? Right. And we added some stuff. Okay. Okay. So all in all then, what do we think? So the planner is unable to generate a plan. It's the animal. It's available actions. Takes the most desirable goal. And I can only assume that we are not getting this. Indeed. It's returning nil. So let's go debug the planner and see what it's getting, what kind of issues it's getting here. So create plan. This was working, by the way. Was working perfectly fine until I added things. In fact, I can... you know what? I need to close some things anyway, so let's close some things. If I comment these actions out, and we're just using these actions, let's see. Sorry, if I comment these actions out and we're just using these actions, let's see if this at least runs this. No. Yes, it does. Okay. So there it's doing its wander goal, at least. The green one's its wander range. Red one is its awareness. Blue one is its scent. I can turn them all on and off if I want. Individually, however I want there. So animal 219. We're in debug mode, so we are printing the current plan. Okay. And that is creating a current plan. So interestingly then, by including these actions, that's breaking it. So these actions are somehow broken. Alright, I gotta go. I think my son is crying. He is. So thanks for tuning in. I will be on again tomorrow sometime, I'm sure. Okay, bye.